Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Onyinye here. If this is your first time joining this channel, you're very much welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for sticking around. Today, I'll be taking you guys through the process of creating those shorts with elastic band and side pockets. If this is something you're interested in, kindly stick around and watch this video till the end. Alright, let's dive in. First off, we're starting with the front piece of the shorts. The first thing to do is to determine how much fabric we need. Here I have a width of 18 inches and a length of 16 inches. And I cut this on fold. Once the fabric needed is confirmed, I'm just going to go ahead at the top of the fabric to create my border line. So after taking my border line, I'm just going to go up by 2 inches. That 2 inches is going to serve as the band. You don't want to have it on your short. So I'm going to take out 2 inches and then I'm going to come down by 10 inches, which is my hip line. So put down your hip line and also your crotch line. My hip line is 10 inches and my crotch line is 12 inches. I'm going to put that down and I'm going to take the full length of the shorts. So for the length of the shorts, I'll be using 16 inches. That's how short I want it to be. You can decide to extend yours, but I'm good with 16 inches. So I put down 16 inches and an extra ½ inch for the hemming allowance. Now you can decide to use 2 inches for your hemming allowance, but I just want to use ½ inch for my hemming allowance. I'm just going to mark that down and I'm going to repeat these same measurements on the other side so I can get an accurate line. And after doing that, I'm going to connect all these points with a straight line. So now we have our border line, our hip line, our crotch line, and our hem line. So the next thing I'm going to do is to get my round hip circumference. So I have a round hip of 44 inches. So I'm going to divide that by 4, which gives me 11 inches plus an extra 4 inches. Now, depending on how wide you want your pants to be, you can do 3 inches, you can do 5, but I'm good with 4. So I'm going to add 4 inches, which makes it a total of 15 inches. And I'm going to put these measurements on my hip line, my crotch line, and my waistline. And I'm going to connect all those points with a straight line. Once that's done, I'm going to get my crotch extension next. To get your front crotch extension, all you have to do is divide your round hip circumference by 20. And to get your back crotch extension, you're going to divide your round hip measurement by 10. So I'm going to put down my front crotch extension and I'm going to connect with a curve. So the next thing I'm going to do is to put down the measurement I have on the crotch line on the hem line. So whatever I have on the crotch line, I have about 17.2 on the crotch line. I'm going to put that on the hem line and I'm going to connect with a straight line. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to come down from the center front by ½ inch. Now I don't need any seam allowance because the excess we have above the border line is what I'm going to use as my seam allowance. So I have an excess of ½ inch above the border line. So that's what I'll be using for my seam allowance. So all you have to do is just go down from the center front by ½ inch and connect it to your side front. And once that's done, I'll cut out my front piece. Now we're going to draft our back piece. Now I'm going to get a fresh fabric and place my front piece on that fabric. And when you're cutting out fabric for the back piece, make sure the width is wider by 2 inches and the length is also longer by 2 inches. So now on the center back area, I'm going to go up by 2 inches and I'm going to connect it with a slant line to the side back. Next, I'm going to take out the back crotch extension. I'll be using 2 inches for my back crotch extension. I'm going to put this on the crotch line and I'll extend it to the hem line and connect it with a straight line. Once that's done, I will extend my center back line and connect my crotch line with a curve and cut out my back piece. Now we have both our front piece and our back piece. The next thing I'm going to do is to stitch the center front and the center back with 1/2 inch seam allowance. The next thing I'm going to do is to head over to my sewing machine and stitch the crotch area with 1/2 inch. I'll be doing this for both the front piece and the back piece. I'm going to open my front and back piece and place it right sides facing and stitch together the crotch line. So I've done that and you can see how neat it's looking. Also make sure to overlock your seams, okay? I already did that. So the next thing I'm going to do is to cut out the pocket pieces. As you can see, I have a length of 10 inches and the width of 7 inches. So I'll be using a 10 by 7 inches for the pocket. I'm going to split it open so I have 2 pieces. I didn't have enough fabric to cut out my pocket pieces, so I used 2 from the main fabric and 2 from a different lining fabric. If you have enough fabric, you can just cut all your pocket pieces from the same material. You don't have to mix like I did. Now I'm going to open my front piece and I'm going to place one of the pocket pieces on my fabric. And from the side front, I'm going to go in by 2.5 inches. I'm going to come down by 7 inches and connect those points with a slant line. And after doing that, I'm going to cut out that part. Next, I'm going to head over to my sewing machine and stitch down the part I just cut out with 0.25 inches. But first, I'm going to pin it down to keep it secured. I'm also going to top stitch on it when I'm done with that. I already top stitched on this part, so this is what I have here. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get another piece, which is the other piece for the pants, and I'm just going to open this up just like this, and I'm going to put this piece on the bottom just like this, and I'm going to stitch it from here to here. I've done that, and now I'm going to turn the pocket over to the right side. So I'll make sure it laps neatly under the front piece. Then I'll stitch it along the waistline so the pocket stays flat and well positioned. I'm also going to fix the other side of the pockets. Now I'm going to repeat these steps on the other side of the pockets as well. Just pay attention to what I'm doing. You'll understand it better. Once that's done, I'm going to place my front and back piece right sides facing, and I'm going to close up the sides with 1/2 inch. You can see how neat the shorts are looking already. Next, I'm going to fix the waistband. Now, to get your band measurement, just use the waist circumference of your short. So whatever you measure round your waist, that will be your band length, okay? For the width, I'm using 5 inches. Okay, we took out 2 inches and I added an extra half an inch for seam allowance, so that makes a total of 5 inches. So I'm going to pin down my band to the wrong side of the fabric. Yeah, so as you can see, I've already gone ahead to close up this part. So I closed up this part already and I folded it over to the other side, and I'm going to close this part. But while I'm closing the top part, I'm going to leave about 2 inches so I can pass my band. So my band is about 2 inches as well, as you can see. So my band is about 2 inches band, so I'm going to leave about 2 inches space from here so I can pass my band into it. Okay, at this point I've fixed my waistband and I left about 2 inches open so I can pass my elastic through. Now I'm just going to use a safety pin to thread the elastic band all the way around the waistband. This particular short doesn't have a loop, but if you'd like yours to have loops, just scroll through my videos. I already have a tutorial on pants with elastic waistband, loops and pockets as well. You can check that out for the full process. So this is what the shorts look like. I've already closed up the 2 inches opening we left for the elastic, and you can see how nice they turned out. These shorts are perfect for lounging at home, a casual outing, or even the beach. Just something free and comfortable. I also went ahead to hem the bottom with 1/2 inch seam allowance, and that's it for this tutorial, guys. If you've watched this video till the end or you learned something new, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who might find this helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.